A little over a month ago, I made a video asking if mamas have birthed in the hospital and then decided to go birth at home for their next pregnancies, or vice versa, if they've birthed at home and then decided that they wanted to go birth in the hospital. And I received 43 responses from women who were in alignment with this question. I will say that there were a lot of comments who said, like, I had all of my babies in the hospital, or I had all of my babies at home. And that isn't what I was curious about. I was curious about the transition, who chooses to go from where to where. So here are my findings. One woman attempted 3 home births at home that all led to hospital transfers, and she's planning on a hospital birth for her 4th. There were 2 women who had home births, then continued their next pregnancies in birthing centers. One woman had her first baby at a standalone birthing center, had her second baby at a hospital, and said that she preferred the birthing center. 4 women started having their babies in birthing centers and then had their next babies at home. Not included in those 4, there was 1 woman who had a birth at a birth center, then had a birth at home, then went back to a birthing center. There were 2 women who had hospital births, then had home births, then went back to the hospital. There was 1 woman who had hospital births and home births and went back and forth between the 2. 1 woman had a hospital birth, the next birth was in a birthing center, and she is planning on a home birth for her next. And for the rest of the results, I'm just going to say that I did loop together home birth and free birth. I know that they are very drastically different things, but just for the purpose of this research, they're together. 1 woman said that she wanted a home birth, but her husband was drastically against it, so she did do a hospital birth with her 1 child, but is planning a home birth for the next one. 4 women said that they started with home births that turned into hospital transfers, but then their next births were all done at home. 25 women started having their babies in hospitals and then decided to go home and either home birth or free birth the rest of their children. 1 of those women said that it was a reluctant hospital birth and that she did her next pregnancy as a wild pregnancy and had an HBAC. This was just fun research for me to explore my life and my choices, and I'm choosing to share it on the internet. I'm not trying to convince anyone of anything. I asked a question and I'm giving you guys the data. So no opinions here, just data.